Today we are going to talk about prospecting. What is prospecting? It's the process of identifying the ideal customer who might be interested in your product or service. You identify the person who might be interested today, tomorrow, or maybe in the future in your services. How to prospect in the best possible way, how to find your ideal customer profile, and be able to pitch them in the right way. Let's understand the importance of prospecting. Number 1, fills the sales funnel. When you prospect and do the prospecting right, you know these are the people who might be interested in your product. So you have a sales pipeline or a funnel which is ready to be worked on. Like you can work on this stage and you can pass them on to the qualified lead stage. Number 2, it saves time. When you do the prospecting, you know who are the ideal customers, whom to reach out, what industry they belong to, and how to reach out. It saves a lot of time which is spent in just going to random people and then talking to them about your product or service. Number 3, it increases revenue. When you have done the prospecting properly, you know the focus areas. And when you know the focus areas, you know the decision makers, you reach out to them and you engage more with them. And once you have done that well, it increases the revenue. Number 4, the long-term connections. When you do the prospecting and engage with them regularly, it builds a good rapport with them. And then when you continuously engage with each other, later on, sometimes it's an opportunity to work together. Type of prospecting. It can be of 2 types. One is outbound and another one is inbound. Outbound is when you are reaching out to somebody. They have not said that they need it. Try to map your product or service with the people who are your ideal customers. Suppose you are a company who is into creative marketing. You are very good with corporate videos, like you are very good with brand films, and especially for technology companies. Now what you do is you identify your ideal customer. You research on LinkedIn on different kind of companies which are there, which are into technology, SaaS business. Then you go and try to understand what they do. Then you find out the decision makers and then you reach out to them, right? So this is the outbound prospecting process. To do this, there are various ways. Like suppose you can do cold calling. You can do cold emailing. You can also reach out on different platforms like LinkedIn or various social media platforms. And you can also be a part of some networking events or be a part of some industry events where you know that most of the people who have come in here might need your product or service in the future or maybe right now. So you can engage with them, you can tell them about your product or service, and you can see if they are interested. Now let's go to the inbound prospecting. Inbound is when somebody is interested and then they search about the providers in this field and then they land upon your website or come to you. They can come to you from various ways, like they can send an inquiry from website. They can call you on your number if it's available on your website. They can also send you an email if that's available on the internet. These leads can also come in from various events that you might have organized or you might have gone to, or from different webinars that you might have organized. So these are the inbound leads, and they also come via the content marketing that we use. What happens is they read it, and then if they are interested, they see that you are a qualified person to work on something that they need. They might come in and say that, okay, we need your services. So this is the inbound prospecting process. Let's talk about the steps which are used in prospecting. First of all, you need to do the research. You need to understand who is your ideal customer. What industry do they belong to? What is the designation of your ideal customer? Do you need to talk to the marketing managers? Do you need to talk to the CEO? Do you need to talk to the product manager or the operations head or whatever, So you need to map and understand who your ideal customer is. Number 2, try to use the BANT framework to qualify the prospect, which is budget, authority, need, and timeline. Like, do they have the budget? to take your product or service? Does this person in this organization have the authority to take a decision on this? Then you can see if they really have a need, and you can see if they have a timeline in the mind, like do they want to do it now or later or whatever. Now, once you have done the prospecting, you need to build a list, like you need to have a CRM in place where you manage the information about all these leads. Next step is to reach out, because you know that these guys need the services or the product and they are the authorized people to take the decision. What you do is you reach out. You talk to them on call, email, or LinkedIn, or any other platform, or meet them in networking events, but you do reach out to them. You talk to them about different things that you have done in the past, about the case studies that you have done, and also about how you can serve them in the best possible way. You can talk about your company's capabilities, team size, the capabilities of different members, and your previous work. So prospecting is a really vital part, and if you keep doing the prospecting right, you have more and more people as a lead into your funnel. If you have 100 leads, you are able to close 20, 30, whatever. But if you have only 10 leads, tell me how many will you be able to close, right? You'll not be able to close 30 out of those 10. So it's really important to have the prospecting done right and on time and regularly, so that you can have a healthy sales pipeline and you can work accordingly. Because some of the customers will be at the initial touch point, some of the customers will be on the negotiation front, some of the customers will be on the contract signing stage, and some of them will be closed. So each customer is at a different stage, and you need enough number of customers at each of the stages so that your sales pipeline is good and you keep closing regularly.